House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is now in such big political trouble over allegations that she knew about waterboarding in 2002 that today the National Republican Congressional Committee sent out a scathing email, including a headline comparing her approval ratings to that of Newt Gingrich. Oh, snap. In our fourth story tonight, it turns out that's not the only thing Pelosi has in common with Republicans. While House Republican leader John Boehner today, in an op-ed, demanded that Pelosi apologize to the CIA because, after all, quote, accusing our intelligence professionals of lying to Congress is a very serious charge. If true, the Speaker should produce evidence supporting her claim. Mr. Boehner should know, having made a similar charge in 2007. He has now said this despite the fact that he knows full well that briefing rules prevent Pelosi and prevented her from leaving the meeting with any proof of what she was told. Boehner, however, is correct that accusing the CIA of lying to Congress is a serious charge, so serious, in fact, that the CIA is already under investigation by Congress on exactly that claim, a claim made by a Republican. But not just any Republican. This is Congressman Pete Hoekstra. In Boehner's words, quote, the House Intelligence Committee's top Republican. At his request, the Intelligence Oversight Committee is now investigating whether the CIA lied to Congress about its role in mistakenly identifying a civilian aircraft as a drug runner. Peruvian jets shot and killed American Veronica Bowers and her baby daughter. Hoekstra, just 6 months ago, asked for an investigation in whether the CIA obstructed justice in the case. This is about as ugly as it gets, the Republican said. The CIA's own Inspector General concluded the agency repeatedly misled the White House and Congress. On the torture briefings themselves, Hoekstra, who has joined the chorus of anti-Pelosi outrage, Hoekstra himself says the CIA memo alleging Pelosi was told about torture is wrong. Our records suggest there may have been a few additional briefings, he wrote to the CIA in a letter released yesterday. And that's not even the only new question about the memo. Congressman David Obey revealed that the memo names an Appropriations Committee aide as present at one briefing when the aide recalls being told he was not cleared to stay there. This means he joins Democrats Jay Rockefeller and Bob Graham, who have also questioned the memo's accuracy in terms of dates and times. And then there are the memo's self-apparent problems. No record of who gave at least 7 briefings. Not quite sure when John McCain got briefed, late October. Not sure who the O'Keefe guy was who got the top secret briefing. Michael? And as journalist Marcy Wheeler points out, according to the CIA, Congressman Porter Goss got a briefing on March 8, 2005. Even though he was not only no longer a congressman at the time, he was the director of the CIA. Joining us now, former CIA Special Agent Jack Rice, currently radio host with the Talk Radio News Service. Jack, thanks for your time tonight.
Great to be with you, Keith.
All right, Iran had nukes, or has them. Iraq had WMDs and ties to al-Qaeda. The Soviet Union would last into the 21st century. Nancy Pelosi was briefed about the term EITs in 2002, even though the term was not used until 2006. And Porter Goss was the director of the CIA. Which one of these things is not like the others?
Keith, in the end, we're talking about facts here. And don't mess up this whole argument with facts. We don't need that. We didn't even mention the fact that the CIA missed the whole drop with Iran in '79, or the fact that the Berlin Wall fell and they missed that, or heck, even 9/11. We don't need to worry about that. What's extraordinary here is the idea that if you would ever question the CIA now, all of a sudden it's somehow anti-American. It's extraordinary.
Yeah, Dick Cheney and George Bush questioned the CIA repeatedly in 2002 and 2003. That's largely how we got into this mess in the first place. But as a veteran of the agency, I mean, you know that there are smart and skilled analysts and agents and operatives who work there. Is it just that with the Pelosi case anyway, or just like with Iraq, the intelligence has gotten twisted and the agency has been, whether intentionally or otherwise, corrupted by an administration that was willing to cherry pick and fabricate what it needed to get by?
Anybody who believes that an administration can't push the agency to do something is really missing the point, because they can. The fact that they can push the agency and say, this is what I'm looking for, and we've found more and more evidence that has proven that to find that connection between al-Qaeda and Iraq, we've heard about it pounded back again and again and again. It will drive the agency to react. It will drive them to do certain things that may or may not be true. And that's a big part of the problem that we're facing right now. But you know, the biggest irony here, and this is the biggest irony, is that with all of this fight, the transparency that the Democrats have been talking about since 2002, only now, I mean, shockingly, now the Republicans are saying, we want transparency so we can go after Pelosi. Fascinating.
And forget that the Republican claims that are being investigated that the CIA lied. And the Republicans always have this, we should not trust certainly big aspects of big government. What is the real point of pushing this outrage about the Speaker when there are no legal or official implications, even if she were in fact wrong?
Let's make this very clear. This is about one thing: politics. What's extraordinary to me is that I've seen the Republicans do this over and over. They will wrap something in the flag around something, and they will put a little lapel pin on it that says national security. And if you ask a question about it, somehow you're anti-American. That's what they've been trying to do to Nancy Pelosi now for about 6 years. And now they're pushing to say, oh, because she's doing this now, all of a sudden we better take a closer look at her. Now, if we're going to be transparent here, and we're going to talk about what the Republicans say that they stand for, then what they stand for right now is a good look at what's going on. The idea that they use her as the tool, I think in some ways she should be laughing, because in a way this is what she wanted. She wants the government to look at what the agency did and didn't do. It's never been about her. It's about us.
Now, somewhere it was phrased as the briar patch problem, which I think is a good description. But last point, are you worried that the records show the term enhanced interrogation techniques being used in 2002 briefings when the term was not used until 2006?
Keith, we're back to that whole facts thing. We don't need that. We know where we're going here.
Sorry.
We don't, listen to me, young man. How dare you do such a thing?
I know. I'm sorry. I'll throw my calendar away. Jack Rice, radio host, former prosecutor, former CIA officer. Many thanks as always, Jack.
Thank you, Keith.